January 26, one of the saddest tragedies happened in sports history. One of the biggest icons in the NBA was taken away from us. His influence will be everlasting throughout society.
By now you've likely heard the shocking and terrible news. NBA superstar Kobe Bryant, 41 years of age, was killed in a helicopter crash earlier today just outside of Los Angeles.
My name's Josh Twitty. I'm an assistant men's basketball coach here. I've been here for 8 years, I believe. I think the biggest thing in terms of basketball is learning the life lessons that come with it, and then as a player, you want them to help them reach their potential. I think it hit them pretty hard. I think my generation as a kid, myself, loved Kobe, wanted to be him as a player, and they got to see kind of his best years growing up, as a father. Now you got to see that kind of it too, so I think it hit pretty hard, not only for our players, but our staff and just the whole world in general.
Yeah, I'm Mike Phelan, head men's basketball coach here at the University of Mount Union. I've been coaching basketball since I was 19 years old, and how I got into it, we need about an hour to explain that, but anybody that's around our program I think knows it's a family. And that family just isn't, on the floor. It's off the floor. And what our players don't realize now, and they will eventually, is, that relationship and that family, this is just the beginning of it. We're around each other a lot more. But, we want to see them get married. We had about 4 of our guys this year get married from my first and second teams. And it's crazy that a lot of the players are in their weddings. And so you see the family grow and they'll start having children. So that's what I want. That's why we do this. It's stressful at times. Winning and losing is hard, but knowing that you can watch these guys grow for the next 40 years is pretty cool. How did Kobe Bryant's death affect our players? I think when you're that young, like the age where you guys are right now, it's just kind of one of those weird ages where you're 18 to 23. You're smart enough to know that life isn't fair, but you're still so young. And I think for players and even people my age to accept that and understand it is just hard. Like you look at those people who are famous as almost indestructible, and it's the first time probably in your lives where someone with that significance, especially our players, has passed away, and it just scares you a little bit. I have 5 children at home, from a sophomore in high school to a 9-year-old, and to see how they reacted, it's tough to watch. It really is, but unfortunately, that's life, and you have to try to deal with that and cope with it. And I think the one thing about his death has affected everybody, and I think it's going to affect in a positive way just how we treat each other.
My name is Devante Frigga, and I've been playing basketball since I was in 3rd grade. I stopped around 5th grade, 6th grade, and I started wrestling, and then I started playing basketball again. I started playing basketball because I was kind of just obsessed with the sport. I picked up a ball for the first time, and we just really fell in love with the sport immediately. I got a chance to be on a team, and I fell in love with the whole family idea right away. Even at a younger age, you start to really feel the whole team aspect, no matter what sport you're playing. But basketball really hit home for me. Kobe's death was different for me because as a creator myself with the basketball YouTube channel, I knew that I had to touch on the subject, but I looked up to Kobe's playing style when I was younger because I just liked how he always wanted to win. Kind of reminded me of Michael Jordan. I really never got to watch either of them play, but I think just Kobe's death in general just shocked me. I'm actually kind of still in shock about it because somebody that big, somebody that has made that big of an impact on the world to then pass away suddenly and tragically is just, it's horrible. You don't really even want to have that conversation, but I think it had not only an impact on the game of basketball and professionally for all sports, but just people in general, families, people that are children, people that are sons, daughters, wives, husbands, everything that he represented, that I think he had an impact on.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I want to leave a legacy of impact, and I guess the right idea of intention. I think everything's done with intention, but I think if I can leave a lasting impact through intention, then the legacy will make itself.
My name is Maria Johnson, and my major is exercise science. Personally, I just think that Kobe was a really influential athlete, not only in basketball, but in all sports in general, and he was a good person. He was a good role model to look up to. I think he was definitely influential to people outside of basketball players, also outside of athletes too. He was a good role model for everyone.
I'm Suzy Bennett, the head women's basketball coach here at the University of Mount Union. Been here for 15 years. This is my 15th season. I think that he touched a lot of people. I think you can see that by the outpouring of grief and love and support for his family from everyone.